Okay, the next question is, tell me about a time when you had to address an underperforming team member. How did you handle it and what was the outcome? Here's a good answer. In a previous role, I managed a team of engineers responsible for maintaining and enhancing a critical part of our product. One of the senior engineers on the team was falling behind on their deliverables and missing deadlines, which began affecting the team's overall productivity and morale. Their work was crucial to the team's success, and the delay was starting to impact other teams reliant on our output. As the engineering manager, it was my responsibility to understand the root cause of the issue, support this engineer in improving their performance, and ensure the team's productivity stayed on track. I needed to address this effectively without demotivating the individual or the team. I scheduled a one-on-one meeting with the engineer to understand what was contributing to the delays. Through our conversation, I discovered they were struggling with some of the newer technologies we had introduced to the project, which affected their confidence and speed. To address this, I set up a tailored improvement plan, including weekly check-ins, pairing them with a more experienced colleague who could mentor them on the new tech stack and breaking down their tasks into more manageable milestones. I also communicated transparently with the rest of the team about the timelines to maintain trust and ensure they understood that I was handling the situation. Within a few weeks, I saw significant improvement in this engineer's output and confidence. The team got back on track with their timeline, and morale improved as other team members saw their colleagues' progress. This experience reinforced the importance of providing support tailored to each individual's needs and maintaining transparency with the team when addressing performance issues. Why this works? It should work well because 1. Shows empathy and problem solving. You demonstrate empathy by understanding the challenges the engineer faced and by taking steps to help them improve without immediately resorting to disciplinary action. 2. Highlights collaboration and team morale. By mentioning that you communicated with the entire team and maintain morale, you show that you're attentive to the wider impact of individual issues on team dynamics. 3. Demonstrates effective use of support and mentorship. Setting up a mentorship with a more experienced colleague shows your ability to use available resources to solve issues. 4. Shows measurable outcome and reflection. Including the positive results for both the individual and the team, along with a reflection on your approach, reinforces that your intervention was impactful and thoughtful. What you should avoid saying. 1. Avoid ignoring root causes. Don't say, "I just told the engineer to work faster." This approach lacks empathy and suggests a failure to address the underlying issue. 2. Don't skip communication with the team. Avoid saying, "I handled it privately and didn't involve the team." This can make it seem like you didn't consider the broader impact on team morale and workflow. 3. Avoid immediate disciplinary actions. Avoid saying, "I gave the engineer a warning right away." This approach can make you seem overly harsh and uninvested in supporting the team member's growth. 4. No outcome or lesson learned. Don't leave out the impact or lesson. Saying, "the situation improved," without detailing the positive change or reflection misses the opportunity to showcase the effectiveness of your approach and your personal growth. Thanks for watching. For more tech interview questions, please go to bowsiate.com. Okay, the next question is, describe a time when you faced ambiguity in a project or a product direction. How did you handle it and what was the outcome? Here's a good answer. In a previous role, I was leading the development of a new feature aimed at increasing user engagement, but we lacked clear data on what users valued most. Additionally, there were conflicting ideas among stakeholders on whether we should focus more on gamification features or content sharing capabilities. This ambiguity made it challenging to define a clear product roadmap. As the product manager, my responsibility was to clarify the product direction, prioritize the most impactful ideas, and get stakeholder alignment. I needed to ensure that our strategy was grounded in user needs and aligned with business goals, despite the initial lack of clarity. I started by gathering any available data on user behavior related to engagement. I conducted user interviews and surveys to get qualitative insights into what would enhance their experience. I then organized a workshop with key stakeholders where I presented my findings and facilitated a discussion to align on key priorities. We used this feedback to establish a set of guiding principles for the feature, choosing to focus on content sharing capabilities as the first phase. I created a roadmap based on these principles and communicated our direction clearly with all teams. The team successfully launched the content sharing feature, which increased user engagement by 25% over the first quarter. The feedback loop and alignment we established not only helped clarify the product direction, but also increased team confidence in our approach. This experience taught me the importance of gathering insights quickly and facilitating alignment in the face of ambiguity. Why this works? It should work well because 1. Shows initiative and problem solving. This response demonstrates that you can take charge when there's a lack of clarity and use data-driven methods to reduce ambiguity. 2. Demonstrates user-centric thinking. By focusing on gathering user insights and using those to inform your decisions, you show that you prioritize user needs. 3. Highlights strong stakeholder management. By involving stakeholders in the process and facilitating alignment, you show that you're capable of getting buy-in from cross-functional teams. 4. Emphasizes results and learning. Providing a measurable outcome, like the 25% increase in engagement, shows your impact, and mentioning your learning experience highlights your adaptability and growth. What you should avoid saying. 1. Avoid overly vague descriptions. Don't say, "I made a decision without enough information and just hoped it would work out." This approach lacks strategy and might suggest recklessness. 2. Avoid skipping user research or data. Avoid saying, "I didn't have any data, so I just went with my intuition." This misses an opportunity to show your commitment to understanding user needs, even with limited resources. 3. No stakeholder alignment. Don't skip over how you got stakeholder buy-in. Saying, "I decided on my own," without involving others can make it seem like you're not collaborative. 4. Lack of outcome or learning. Don't leave out the impact or reflection. Simply saying, "The project worked," without an outcome or lesson learned doesn't showcase your growth or the measurable impact of your work. Thanks for watching. For more tech interview questions, please go to bowsiate.com. Okay, the next question is, describe a time when you had to make a data-driven decision with limited or incomplete data. How did you handle it, and what was the outcome? Here's a good answer. In a previous role, I was tasked with analyzing customer behavior to recommend improvements for our onboarding process. However, we only had limited historical data and no recent data for new users due to changes in our data tracking tools. We needed insights quickly to inform the upcoming product cycle. My responsibility was to analyze whatever data we had and identify actionable insights that could improve the onboarding flow. With limited data, I had to be creative and use alternative methods to form reliable conclusions. I first examined the historical data we did have and identified patterns related to user engagement. Then, I conducted user interviews to supplement our dataset with qualitative insights about the onboarding experience. I also explored proxy metrics, such as user engagement after the onboarding phase and support request rates, that could give us clues about user satisfaction. Using these insights, I created a hypothesis on which parts of the onboarding flow could be improved and presented a plan to A, B test specific changes in the next update. The proposed changes improved user engagement by 15% within the first 2 weeks of implementation. This experience taught me the importance of being flexible and resourceful when dealing with incomplete data and reinforced my confidence in combining quantitative and qualitative insights to make informed decisions. Why this works? It should work well because 1. Shows resourcefulness and creativity. You show that you didn't let limited data stop you. Instead, you leveraged proxy metrics, historical data, and qualitative research to make informed decisions. 2. Demonstrates cross-functional skills. By including user interviews, you demonstrate that you're comfortable working beyond traditional quantitative data analysis and can gather qualitative insights when needed. 3. Highlights data-driven decision-making. You emphasize using available data to form a hypothesis, proposing a plan, and testing improvements, which shows that you rely on data to inform decisions. 4. Provides measurable outcome. Mentioning the 15% improvement in engagement as a result of your work shows your impact. What you should avoid saying. 1. Avoid focusing solely on limitations. Don't say, "We didn't have enough data, so I couldn't make any decisions." This response comes across as passive and doesn't highlight any problem solving or resourcefulness. 2. Avoid vague solutions. Saying, "I made some guesses based on what we had," lacks specificity and doesn't show a structured approach. 3. No outcome or result. Don't skip over the outcome or impact of your work. Simply stating, "I suggested some changes," without showing results misses the opportunity to demonstrate impact. 4. Neglecting learning or adaptation. Don't forget to mention what you learned. Saying, "I did what I could," without a learning component misses an opportunity to show growth and adaptability. Thanks for watching. For more tech interview questions, please go to bowsiate.com. Okay, the next question is, tell me about a time when you had to collaborate with a non-technical team member to complete a project. How did you ensure effective communication and alignment, and what was the outcome? Here's a good answer. In a previous role, I was working on a project to develop a new sales analytics dashboard. This required close collaboration with a salesperson who wasn't technical but understood user needs and business requirements well. We needed to ensure that the final product was user-friendly and aligned with business goals. As the lead engineer on the project, my job was to translate technical aspects into understandable terms for the salesperson while ensuring our engineering decisions were aligned with their vision. I also needed to communicate any technical limitations or adjustments that could impact the user experience. I scheduled regular check-ins and made sure to use clear, jargon-free language when discussing the technical aspects of the project. To avoid misunderstandings, I visualized some technical concepts by creating simple mock-ups and flowcharts, making it easier for the salesperson to understand our approach. I also actively listened to their feedback on business requirements, which helped me see the broader impact of our technical decisions. By creating an environment for open communication, we quickly identified areas where their input was essential and adjusted our technical approach accordingly. The final dashboard met both user experience and business requirements. Our collaboration allowed us to identify and address issues early, leading to a smoother development process and a product that had high adoption rates. This experience reinforced the importance of adapting my communication style to fit the audience and demonstrated that non-technical perspectives can greatly improve the final product. Why this works? It should work well because 1. Shows communication and adaptability. You explain how you adjusted your technical language and used visual aids to communicate effectively with a non-technical team member. 2. Emphasizes cross-functional collaboration. You highlight the importance of working with other teams and taking non-technical input seriously, showing that you value diverse perspectives. 3. Demonstrates problem solving with a team. Your approach to handling potential misunderstandings early on and using their feedback in technical decision-making shows your proactive attitude. 4. Shows measurable and strategic results. You describe how your communication approach contributed to a high adoption rate of the final product, which indicates your impact. What you should avoid saying. 1. Avoid dismissing non-technical feedback. Don't say, "I handled the technical aspects myself," since they wouldn't understand. This approach dismisses the value of cross-functional collaboration and may come across as lacking teamwork skills. 2. Being too jargon-heavy in your response. Avoid overly technical explanations in your answer, such as, "I explained the dashboard data structure," using technical terms. Stick to focusing on how you communicated simply and effectively. 3. Vague outcome. Don't end with, "The project went well." Providing specific, measurable outcomes or describing positive feedback is stronger and shows the impact of your actions. 4. No mention of adaptation or learning. Don't skip over how you adapted your approach. If you simply say, "I met with the product manager regularly," it doesn't show what you did differently to bridge the communication gap. Thanks for watching. For more tech interview questions, please go to bowsiate.com.